Hi guys, thanks for popping by. My name's Stuart Burgess and I'm the company director of a company called Just Add Popcorn Limited. I'm also a Cedia member and today I'm here to present you a brief masterclass about 15 minutes long on a smart home done right, looking at the infrastructure for the modern home. So this is a Cedia presentation. So who are Cedia? So Cedia are basically like my trade association. So there are about 3,700 companies that are Cedia member companies. Now, these are manufacturers, distributors, like the people who make this screen down here in our demo room in Robertsbridge. But then there's also roughly sort of 22,000 industry professionals like myself, businesses, whether they're small businesses like me or large, multi-employee businesses who look at Cedia as being their trade association, keeping our staff up to date with proactive training, doing guides, white papers, and generally keeping our industry up to date and representing our industry around the world to people like yourself. You potentially might be watching this video as part of a masterclass, as a virtual exhibition. So in the moment you might be planning or thinking about doing a home builder renovation. So this is somewhere where a company like us, a Cedia company, can be really influential in your project. Having a Cedia member involved in your project is really key. In these days, it's just as important as having your builder, your electrician, or your architect. So what are we talking about here today? Well, we're talking about the infrastructure. We're talking about life's necessities. Now, years ago, it wasn't a necessity that our homes were connected to the internet, but it is nowadays. I'm recording this on the 1st of July. We're still in or just coming hopefully towards the tail end of a pandemic. Can you imagine what our lives would have been like if we weren't working, we were from home and we didn't have internet connections. We didn't have access to the outside world. Not just to buy a swimming pool for the garden, but to say, how you doing to mum and, how you been, to fellow work colleagues that you haven't seen every day, working from home as well. So, it's important that our homes, our offices, our lives are connected to the internet because it's more than just home shopping these days. Look at how the world has evolved. Look at the TV, look at how we've gone from CRT TVs to, modern flat screens. Look at the services we get on them now. Look at our mobile phones. So it is a necessity that we have our devices connected to the internet now, not just for those great things like Netflix or Amazon Prime or things like that, but also software updates to keep our products fresh, get manufacturers to be able to update our products, improve the life of our products, importantly. So what you're going to see here today has been taken from the Smart Home Infrastructure Recommended Guidelines. This is available on our website at justaddpopcorn.co.uk, available from Cedia's website, or if you just do a brief Google or Bing search, you should be able to find and download yourself a copy. If for any reason you can't, please reach out to me, Stuart at justaddpopcorn.co.uk, and I can email you over a copy so you can read a copy of it digitally. So when we're looking at systems, we're looking at infrastructure. What are we talking about? Well, we briefly touched on TV. If we go out today, or if you come to us and you want to buy a TV, that TV's probably got, internet on it. It's probably got 4K Netflix. It's probably got, video services on it. And it's great to work off our Wi-Fi completely. But actually, if we've got static devices like our TVs, our kitchen appliances, let's wire them in. We'll talk about Wi-Fi, wireless a bit more in a minute. But, let's look at, the services we get on our TVs. Internet, we briefly touched on it. Can you imagine what the first 6 months of 2020 would have been if we hadn't got internet? Internet connection, for not only for shopping, but for staying in touch with loved ones. And then we look at services which we use in our house, multi-room audio. Since since 2006, multi-room audio has become quite a big necessity in the home. Some speakers in the ceiling, an amplifier in your extra low voltage head end, just so you can experience music around your house, walk from room to room, without having to turn a radio on in every room. Telephone, here we use a VoIP system, which means that my telephone comes in over the internet. I answer my phone here. I can push it to my mobile, or I can push it to my house. Lots of people are working from home these days, more at the moment. With VoIP, voice over internet protocols, it means that we're a lot more connected to our businesses securely and safely. And, and our employees want to maybe be able to talk to us over a secure network, So actually having a telephone system, working over internet in your house, and traditional DTEC cordless is still relevant. Lighting. We have an intelligent lighting system in our demo room here where any switch in our showroom can control any switch around, any light around the project. It means that also I can turn my lights on and off when I get home if I look at the CCTV and realise I've left them on. We can set, automation, so sunset and sunrise, our lights can come on and off. And then looking at things like door entry and security, we can't watch the TV at the moment without seeing, video doorbells. More and more homes are having CCTV and security. Maybe not as, as a last defense security, watching back the footage of someone who's tried to break into your home. But getting that parcel, when that UPS driver rings your doorbell, you get a push notification to your phone or to your touchscreen in your home saying that they're there. Oh, on the CCTV camera, I can see that, he's left it in the porch. Brilliant. It's all part of a connected system. And then home healthcare. There are more people of us on the world now. So, we do have a point where we can't all, have healthcare in doctor surgeries and hospitals. So, things like, my phone, my watch I've got on my wrist here, that can detect falls. That can monitor my heart rate. So, we can see as technologists a future whereby, our doctors and our consultants are going to want to monitor us more remotely. So whilst we're at home living our lives with our friends and family, we can still keep an eye on our health. Then you look at automation integration. That brings everything in your connected home together. Now, that can just be a video doorbell connected to a mobile phone. But if you think about, a coffee table full of remote controls, you've got to pick up lots of remote controls to turn your TV on, or maybe turn your Skybox on, or maybe turn your amplifier on. With a good integration system, you can just pick up one remote control. So like in here, for instance, we can pick up our remote control and we can go watch TV. And guess what? The TV picture comes on the screen. It's turned a projector on. It's turned, a Freeview recorder on. It's turned an amplifier on. It's also turned the lights down for me. It's all part of integration, getting your homes to work with you, not against you. And that's where it comes, it's even more important to have a good infrastructure in your property. And then automation, if we go back to security, we can do things like at sunset or at sunrise, turn the lights on or off, open and close the blinds. As a general rule of thumb in my own home, at sunset, my blinds close, randomized by X amount of time every day. Certain lights come on because, we know we like the lamp in the lounge on, but, or we know that Litland goes to bed, at 7:30, 8 o'clock. So the blinds are already closed, and that's all done by automation. And also it can create simulated occupancy. So from a security point of view, people think you're there even if you're not. So when we look at wireless, so why isn't everything wireless? Well, if you're watching this video as part of a virtual exhibition, there's lots of other trade suppliers here, or lots of other suppliers here, who are selling you things like fallback plasterboard, really good insulation in your wall. And that's great, but that can actually be detrimental to your wireless signal. So an example, fallback plasterboard. When I built this room, I did this all in fallback plasterboard, and then I had maybe underfloor heating here and underfloor heating here. If I then put an electrical socket in the wall and I earth that electrical socket, and the foil from this backing board is touching that electrical socket, guess what? I've just created what we call Faraday cage, which means the wireless signals from outside won't be able to get inside. So it's really important to look at how your homes are being built, or how you're doing your renovations, to make sure that your building materials you're putting in to help you save money on heating, for instance, isn't actually going to be a bane to your wireless signals. And if we talk about wireless, a lot of people don't realise that things like microwaves and mobile phones actually compete on the wireless spectrum for, wireless internet connectivity for your laptop, your mobile phone, or for your TV. So again, if it's a static device like a TV or a computer, let's wire it in. Let's get it off the spectrum. Yeah, this is a 2.4 gigahertz spectrum, and we can go up to 5 gigahertz spectrum, which a lot of ISPs do give you as part of your router now. But let's also cast a look at your neighbours. If you live in a block of flats, for instance, and you all use BT for argument's sake, you could find that your neighbour's router, although it's sending out its own wireless signal with its own wireless password, is competing with yours because it's on the same channel number. So this is where, as a Cedia member, we can look at your home and we can look at your neighbour's home, and we can make sure that you're not competing with each other, and two, that your home has got a great coverage of Wi-Fi around it. Let's say, for instance, here, our router is in the middle there. I know it's not going to reach around the edge here. So let's wire out to some wireless hotspots. Let's get some access points in the ceiling. So as you're walking around the home with your computer or your mobile phone, you're not losing your wireless signal. And how do we deal with the wiring? Simple. We go from what we call our extra low voltage head end and we wire out to sockets. So this could be a TV socket, this could be a network socket, this could be a wireless access point on the ceiling. But we run them all back, all on their own service, back. If we were to wire in with what we call daisy chaining rather than star wiring, we might get signal degradation, which is not great. So let's remember star wiring. So when we come back to our extra low voltage head end, what do we do with all those cables? Well, what we do is we put them into a patch panel because one, we don't only want to use what we're using now. So we might have wired, bedroom 2 for multi-room audio. We're not using it now, but let's make sure the connection's there later, just in case we want to add to it, just in case someone comes and lives with us, or the bedroom moves around. Let's wire up bedroom 4 for network, because it might be that you start working from home more, or your wife starts working from home more. It might be that a family member comes and uses it as an office. All you've then got to do is patch it in. That then works, in that room. So your computer can work on a network in that room. So it's planning for the future. We can't future-proof because, we can see what's coming in the immediate future, but we don't know what's coming 10, 20 years down the time. But let's plan our projects now. Let's plan our homes now to work with you. And let's look at rooms. Let's look at the sockets in our rooms. Don't be afraid to put too many sockets in. Cable is cheap at the first fix. The most expensive cable you will ever buy is the one you forget to install. So, we might think, I don't know if I want the TV here or if I want the TV here. Hey, let's wire for both of them. We can hide that cabling in the wall, let's say if it's timber frame construction, or there's some really nice solutions available these days where we can sink the boxes back into the wall. So, you don't have to see the connections, but they're there if you ever want to use them. And don't forget about testing. So once we, as a company, we can design a digital infrastructure for your home, for your connected devices. We can then come and install it at first fix, along with other Cedia members can do it for you. And then we can then come and do second fix and final fix. But testing during the project is really important. So, we run the cables at first fix, we should then test them. Our cable that turns up at our office in boxes has already been tested by the manufacturer. Let's get the cables in, let's test them before the walls are shut up and we realise there's a problem with that cable. Once the project is finishing, let's test it. Get us it back in, we can test it, we can label it, and we can, so what room is connected to what, and you can patch it later on. So, as I said, this presentation was a short presentation. You can come and see the longer presentation down here if you want, our demo room down in East Sussex. The space is open to business professionals, clients, everybody alike. Do also pop over to our website, justaddpopcorn.co.uk, or Cedia's website as well. There's loads of useful information on Cedia's website, even if you don't want to reach out to a Cedia member initially. Companies like us, we will more than happily speak to you on the phone, more than happily advise you on what you can do, or maybe what you need, without actually, having to charge for our services. We only charge, like a lot of good companies, when we start to do proper plans and drawings for you. So if you have any questions about what this presentation has been about, or if you want to reach out to us personally, email myself at stuart@justaddpopcorn.co.uk. Reach out to Cedia at cedia.net or Google Cedia. And look, guys, I can't stress this enough. If you are thinking about a new build or a renovation or a project in general, please reach out to a technologist. Please reach out to a Cedia member. We get involved in projects all the time where we can liaise with other building trades, and and someone's not thought of that. We live technology every day. We can advise you on what the current trends are. Especially if you're going to sell your home in the future, or we can advise you on what you need. What you may want when you tell us how you want to live your life in that building. So, thanks for watching it. Thanks for clicking the link. I hope you found it useful. Please reach out and have a great day.